What if a lot of what we believe about living a long life is just wrong? What if the real secret to hitting 100 isn't found in a punishing 2-hour gym session or a diet that bans every food you actually enjoy? The world's longest living people, still vibrant and active in their 90s and hundreds, aren't doing any of that. They're using a few simple, almost effortless habits. And today, we're borrowing them. We're not just talking about adding years to your life. We're talking about adding life to your years. And we've packaged it into a blueprint you can follow in just 120 minutes a week. Let's get into it. For decades, researchers have studied blue zones, pockets of the world in places like Okinawa, Japan, and Sardinia, Italy, where people live extraordinarily long, healthy lives. The science has nuance, but the patterns are too consistent to ignore. Here's what stands out. These people don't track their steps on an app. They don't count calories. Health isn't something they pursue. It's something their daily environment and routines quietly build for them. Their secret isn't one big, difficult thing. It's a collection of small, consistent habits. We've distilled them down to the 7 most powerful ones. The most powerful longevity habit isn't an extreme workout. It's walking. People in blue zones don't exercise the way we think of it. They walk to the store, they garden, they visit friends. Constant low-level movement is a pillar of their health, and it lines up perfectly with what health authorities recommend. At least 150 minutes of moderate aerobic activity per week. For you, that's a brisk 30-minute walk, 5 days a week. Put on a podcast, call a friend, enjoy some fresh air. Simple as that. Think of this as the foundation. Everything else we cover today is built on top of it. Cardio is crucial, but it's only half the story. As we age, maintaining muscle becomes just as important. Muscle is your metabolic engine. It regulates blood sugar, supports your joints, and keeps you independent. Research published in the British Journal of Sports Medicine points to a sweet spot for longevity. Around 90 to 120 minutes of strength training per week. People in that range showed a significantly lower risk of death from any cause. Here's the good news, that's just 2 sessions a week, and you don't need a gym. Bodyweight squats, wall push-ups, lunges, planks, that's it. Focus on consistency over intensity. 2 short sessions a week to protect your muscle, your metabolism, and your future self. This one gets dismissed a lot, but don't make that mistake. Mobility work is the glue that holds your physical health together. We're not talking about a full yoga class, just 5 to 10 minutes of simple stretching after your walks or strength sessions. Hamstrings, hips, chest, the basics. Here's why it matters. When you feel good and move without stiffness, you actually stick to your other habits. Mobility keeps you in the game long term. It's a tiny time investment with a compounding return. Don't skip it. Three steps down, 4 to go, and they only get better from here. If this is landing for you, hit that like button. It genuinely helps the channel grow. And subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next, because most people are completely underestimating this step. You can have the perfect diet and exercise routine, but if your sleep is broken, you're building on sand. Poor sleep is linked to nearly every major chronic disease. The world's healthiest people don't hack their sleep with gadgets. They protect it fiercely. 7 to 9 hours is the target. But the real secret isn't just duration. It's consistency. Same bedtime, same wake time, even on weekends. In the hour before bed, dim the lights, put the screens away. It's not just the blue light that disrupts melatonin. It's the alerting content that keeps your brain switched on. Keep your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. This habit costs nothing. And when your sleep is right, every other habit on this list becomes easier to stick to. Forget fad diets. The longevity approach to food isn't about restriction, it's about addition. In blue zones, diets tend to be plant-centered: vegetables, fruits, beans, whole grains. This pattern consistently tracks with lower rates of chronic disease. But the key insight isn't what they cut out, it's what they consistently include. So here's your shift. Don't focus on removing things. Focus on adding better ones. One more vegetable at dinner, oatmeal instead of sugary cereal, a handful of nuts instead of chips, more color on the plate, more fiber, more water. Gradual, sustainable improvement, not perfection. That's the longevity approach. Here's something that surprises people. You can hit your 30-minute walk every day and still be undoing a lot of that good work if you spend the next 8 hours sitting without moving. Prolonged sitting is an independent health risk. It creates problems that scheduled exercise alone can't fully offset. The difference in blue zones isn't just that people exercise, it's that their entire day involves natural, constant movement. You can steal this. The rule is simple. Every 30 to 60 minutes of sitting, get up and move for 1 or 2 minutes. Take the stairs. Stand on phone calls. Do calf raises while you wait for your coffee. These micro-movement breaks keep your metabolism active throughout the day, and they're one of the easiest wins on this entire list. This is what separates step 6 from step 1. One is your dedicated exercise. The other is refusing to let the rest of your day undo it. This is the step people most often overlook, and it might be the most powerful one of all. Strong social connections aren't a nice-to-have for a long life. They're a must-have. An 85-year Harvard study, one of the longest-running studies on human happiness and health, found that people with strong relationships live longer, healthier, and happier lives. The impact of chronic loneliness on health is comparable to smoking. That's not a metaphor. That's what the research shows. People in blue zones prioritize their people, family, friends, community. These aren't extras, they're infrastructure, and they manage stress through daily rituals: a nap, a walk with a neighbor, time with people they love. Make social connection a conscious health habit, the same way you treat exercise. Schedule the call. Plan the walk with a friend. Join the group. Your relationships are not separate from your health. They are your health. That's 7 steps. Now let's make them concrete. Here's your 120-minute weekly blueprint. 3 30-minute brisk walks. That's 90 minutes of life-extending cardio, and it hits your weekly movement target. 2 15-minute home strength sessions. That's 30 minutes to protect your muscles and your metabolism. That's your formal exercise done. The rest, mobility, sleep, nutrition, breaking up your sitting, and investing in your relationships, those get woven into your daily life. They don't demand extra time. They just require a shift in how you move through your day. Longevity isn't built on radical changes. It's built on the compound interest of small, smart, consistent habits. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to start. So, which of these 7 steps are you starting with this week? Drop a 7 in the comments if you're committing to the full blueprint. I read every single one, and I'd love to know where you're beginning.